Some good economic news out this morning. The U.S. economy grew 3.2% in the fourth quarter of last year. That's revised down slightly from a previous estimate, but it is a sign that the U.S. economy is showing no signs of slowing down. So joining us now to talk about it, Jeanna Smialek. She's a Federal Reserve and economy reporter for the New York Times. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's talk about what this data suggests.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, overall, pretty good numbers, actually. It was revised down very slightly, 3.2 from 3.3 previously, but that really came as we saw a downward revision to inventories. Consumer spending was actually revised up a bit, consumption. And so I think that is the takeaway here. The U.S. consumer is still spending really strongly. We've still got growth that is much stronger than what economists typically think is sort of normal or typical. Most economists put that in a range of like 1.8 to 2%. So very strong economic growth and really surprising economic growth, honestly, at a time when the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates, to levels we haven't seen in 22 years. You're really just not seeing that weigh down the economy really significantly at this point.
And we also know that Fed Chair Jerome Powell is expected to testify next week in front of Congress. What are we waiting to hear from him?
Yeah, so I think this GDP number will make that testimony interesting. We've been seeing a lot of pretty solid economic data lately, and I think that is going to be a big focus of that testimony. Jay Powell's going to have to answer, in a world where growth is this strong, can inflation come down the rest of the way? We've already seen really a lot of slowdown in inflation. It went from 9.1% in the summer of 2022 to about 3.1% now. So big slowdown, but 3.1% is not 2%, which is what's normal in America. And so I think Chair Powell is going to face a lot of questions about how do you get that last mile? How do you sort of stomp out that remaining inflation? I think we're also going to hear a lot about risks to financial stability. People are paying a lot of attention to the office real estate sector in particular, because banks hold a lot of those loans. And office real estate, as anybody who's been in the city recently knows, is a little bit dicey in the work from home era. And so I think we're likely to see questions about both of those things.
So a hot topic this year ahead of the presidential election, of course, Jeanna, as you know, is immigration. What impact has that had on the job market?
Yeah, I think immigration has been a really surprising, really interesting story to watch. So we've seen very strong immigration, both obviously the undocumented immigration that we hear a lot about, but also, very strong legal immigration numbers in recent years. And that's really helped the labor market because we were in a situation where we just didn't have enough workers to fill jobs. You probably remember going out to a restaurant in 2022 and not being able to find a table to save your life. And so what we've seen is those immigrants have really sort of helped to fill in those gaps. They've helped to sort of allow the labor market to cool down, to get in a better balance where employers are still paying pretty good wage gains, but they're also finding enough workers to fill open positions.
And finally, Bloomberg obtaining this G20 draft statement that hints at a global soft landing. How likely is that scenario?
Yeah, so apparently, according to global officials, it's getting more likely. We're seeing a lot of upgrading, not just in this G20 statement, but the IMF, the World Bank. I think all of the big international bodies have gotten a lot more optimistic about the possibility that we might avoid a global recession. That, if you remember a year ago, economists basically thought was all but certain. So I think we've seen a lot of good news as consumers keep spending through these higher interest rates. We've seen good news as inflation has come steadily down, and I think people are feeling a little bit more optimistic. That said, they're still worried about geoeconomic tensions. So I think when you hear that, you can assume that they mean sort of the war in Ukraine, the war in sort of between Israel and Hamas, and also I think the potential for future tariffs. So still some risks to watch, but overall, a fairly positive story.
Okay, good to know. Jeanna, thanks so much.
Thank you.